me, let me go. For I don't love you anymore.
I'm glad we've been introduced. Perhaps the walk you'll join me on shall get easier over time, for I am a difficult person, considering the majority of you already believe I am insane. But for me, insanity is super sanity. Normality is really just a lack of creativity or imagination. It's really a relative word, insanity. After all, it's entirely dependent on who has who locked up in a cage. James, what do you take us for? This poor lost little soul will be safe with his Uncle Jack, I assure you.
Yeah, that one.
Right, Billy.
Or
Or was it Drome? One of the two.
Mount.
empty. And alright, so yeah, he's unloaded all the way around, and then baseball bat as well. Before I go, let me take this off real quick. Get a good look at your face.
Oh, he's a pretty
Need to
boy,
remember you
isn't he?
now.
Yeah, good looking
I'm
boy.
sure that's not the first time he's been called that either. What are you Polish? German? You don't sound like any. You don't look fucking American.
I'm not American, fortunately.
Alright, well you're Roman for now. Take care of your Uncle Jack there, little shit, and I'll be back soon. And take everything I've said to you thus far to heart, little man. 'Cause again, this is probably either the best day or the worst day of your life.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I get it.
indeed. Open up.
Thank you.
See, yeah, we can be nice, but you didn't answer my question earlier. I'm still curious. Why do you think James is doing this?
Like you said earlier, I thought he saw potential in me. Minor potential, in his words.
Then what's the point of the stranger? What's the ideal with him? He's gonna be given the same opportunity, clearly, but we haven't even met him yet. You gotta think a little deeper.
Well, I would
Let's
assume that
see
you would
the
have to
ticker.
do some, yeah, I would assume, well, yeah, the flaw would be if I were just to go up and meet a stranger and they would not ask him any questions, then you would probably get some, or there would be a chance that you get someone who you don't want. And I was the preferred person that you wanted. However, I would be on the ground, most likely dead and bleeding out. And then you just fucked up there. That would be a huge flaw. If it was in two men in the same position that I am now, or two strangers, like you would say, so we were both in the same position where you knew our names, you had gotten a little bit in depth with our personalities, you understood who we were, then you had us fight to the death. Each person would have some kind of preferred choice on it that could create an argument, and then, you know, things spiral out of control, and maybe all of you want the same person, but you just made people to fight people to death, and then now you have somebody you don't want in the first place.
See, I'll be honest, you think a lot. That's a good thing. I like a thinker. I'm a thinker, much like yourself. But it's really not that complicated when you get down to the itty-gritty of it all. You see, I'm going to give you a little education on the state of the world here. This isn't a matter of being a badass or anything like that. It's not what we're after. You see, there's two types of people left in the world these days. Now, don't interrupt me. You do it in school. Don't do it in front of me. Okay? The world today, as we see it, there only exists two types of people. You've got predators, and you've got prey. More often than not, we're going to be put into a situation against our will, whether we like it or not, where it is, in fact, a matter of life and death. When it comes to questions of morality, they can hinder you from making a survival decision. outcomes for yourself or for the betterment of the group. Now, if you hesitate and you die, the group weakens as a whole, and it also demonstrates a weakness in you when dealing with competition, enemies. Now, people are dying every day out here. We're only interested in living. Unfortunately, for life there must be death. This is why it's came down to that. And you understand why? Yes, it is a matter of a test, but at the same time it's also a judge of character. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you've got more of a desire to live and you won't let anything get in your way. Can you fathom that reasoning, Rome?
Completely.
Tell me about yourself, kid. What was it you were doing before all this shit? Were you a student? Is that what you were?
Alright, I'll be
something
right
like
back,
that.
Uncle Jackie. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and find one of those blood.
I was running a little company of my own back in the day.
Oh,
Nothing too major.
how old were you again? I forget.
Might have missed my birthday, but I think I'm around 20, maybe now. How long has it been?
20-year-old and running
Fucking
your
hell, I don't
own
even know the
company.
date.
That's just unfathomable, really. What were you? Were you one of these trust fund babies? You get a lot of help from your mom and dad. Don't be ashamed.
Something like that.
If you need help, take it. That's don't mistake me for someone who's judging you on that. I'm not that unbiased, really. I'm of the opinion
No.
help is provided, you take it. If to do otherwise would be foolish. Pride is a foolish thing, you see. Pride is a hindrance. It's a stagnation to your own personal development. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So I understand, little trust fund Billy. I get it. I would do the same. You see,
Gotcha.
the world's an interesting place. It really is. There has to be a structure, or at least there was. What do you think on equality, Billy? Given your very fortunate upbringing.
Quality for who?
Everyone at all. What do you think on it? Tell me.
Or what do you mean by equality?
Your opinions on it.
Equality in what?
Just everyone being equal. Everyone getting a fair turn, you know. Do you have any opinions on that sort of thing?
Well, fair turn in what?
Do I need to
Quality.
elaborate on the question? Equality as a whole. You can answer any way you want. I just want to know
Do you
your
mean
opinion
that
on it.
everyone is paid equally, or everyone is treated equally?
Let's say both. Both.
Both. Ooh. Treated equally, fine. Paid equally? I think whoever works the hardest deserves to get paid the most. Whoever's rolling in the most dough, you know? People who don't do jack shit shouldn't be deserved the same money as someone who works their ass off. People should be treated as humans, obviously. Some people don't deserve that equal treatment all the time. Some people deserve to be trusted as lesser.
Yeah, I can see how your little mind's turning there on the question. It's a doozy, isn't it? You want to know what I think on it, Billy? I've got a good answer. We're back in school again, so listen deeply. Equality is a lie. It's a lie, Billy. It's a delusion created to appease the masses into a false sense of security and servitude, your minimum wages, your whatnot. You see, people are born different. Some are born smarter. Some are born stronger, faster, more physically adept. Some are just born out to be straight up retarded, and that's just unfortunate, but it's true. They're not equal. They can't do the same things. They're not equal. Don't let any fairy tale tell you otherwise. It's just how the world is. You see, it is a lie. Now, there are some people who are created to lead, to herd the sheep, if you will, into a social structure of some kind, to better
To conform
the
them.
rest of them. Yeah, pretty much. And others are unfortunately born into nothing more than a meager existence, servitude.
I see.
It's their place. Without that, everything falls apart. It's nature at its finest, you see. Now, this is like one of these phrases where beauty's in the inside. When it really isn't. You're a fat whore, you're a fat whore. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, there's no fucking fairy tale that's gonna fix that and take care of your body, you bitch. You see what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
I'm a man that doesn't really like the idea of sugarcoating anything to make it look nicer. I like it exactly how it is. Most people are incapable of doing that. They create this lie to make themselves feel better about their insecurities, their pitiful pride. It's damning, you see. They create all these little fabrications like peace. Peace itself is a lie as well. Just look at the world around you and see the life of what it is. Yeah, you can sure put it away though. Oh, there he is. Now, as I was saying to you there, on the subjects of equality and strife and all that, maybe you could share your views with your Uncle AJ. Give him a little bit of your insight on your own personal opinion, because it sure enlightened me the answer you gave. Let him get a bit of a feel for you, see what he thinks.
Let me hear the good.
What he'd asked me was how did I feel about equality, and I sort of conveyed, well, he corrected me, and I conveyed a better, stronger message, I think, that I was trying to convey in the first place, but couldn't put my words into it, and he helped me along the way. And what I ended up coming up with and finding through talking with him, Uncle Jack, was that, well, every person is different. That is, it's obvious. Every person has different traits. Every person is unique in their own way, you could say. Some people are smarter, some people are stronger, some people are faster, and that's a way of life that society has tried to more or less soften and make people feel good about themselves, when I think it would make the whole world run a lot better if people were a little bit more blunt about things. And each person, as sad or as it may be, is either one of the two, the sheep or the wolf. And that is just a factor of life that we have to live with.
Talk about
Sheep or the wolf. Did I hear that correct?
Well, yeah, I kind of took that from me, but it can fade in a little bit. Now, talk about what you were saying on stagnation.
Okay, I remember. Now, it makes the world, I guess, stop, and it makes us all sort of slow down, is what I would think, what I was trying to say. We're thinking and trying to
people
sugarcoat
unproductive.
everything. Yeah, unproductive is the word, counterproductive. That's the word I was looking for.
Exactly.
It makes people not as eager to work, you could say. It sort of just softens everyone and makes them rely on these illusions, like electricity was just another distraction from our basic human structure, and telling everyone they're exact same makes the world run a whole a lot fucking slower and makes us all very counterproductive.
Smart
Jeez.
lad, isn't he? You see what I was talking about
And a
now,
swift
AJ.
learner. You indoctrinated this one fast, because it's like I hear you talking, buddy.
I didn't say a thing, actually. He said that all on his own. All I was doing was talking about equality and asking his opinions. I merely planted the seed,
Did he now?
but he sprouted the flower. You should give someone you perceive as mad your full attention, especially when you are in their mercy. They might have something worth saying, and who knows, you might just change. After all, insanity is contagious. For the difference between sanity and insanity, it's as thin as a knife's edge. It's sharper than a needle's point, and more elusive than the most distant ghost. Perhaps it doesn't even exist. Now you look on and you see me with people. I've sort of found myself within the element of family, or more specifically, a pack mentality. All these individuals seem damaged in their own way, as most people would have you believe, but in a way which still gives them a logical control. It's a trade of security, companionship, and encouragement to be who they are. In a land filled with damnation, is it so odd to believe the mental among us would find each other?
So there's a team of 4 of us. One of them's an American. He's a mechanic. He was up north with me for a little bit. And the others, I said, British operators. And regarding the job role, they have a particular set of skills, such as myself.
No names, really? You can't tell me a name. 4 people, 4 names. These are your people, you should know them.
Or including him.
Yes, including
I believe
myself.
so.
I'll give you their nicknames, not the full names, because, no offence, but you don't need to know that. One of them's Scotty, Dinger, and Andy.
See, that's where you're wrong, stranger. We need to know everything.
Absolutely everything. I mean, I hate to be a bit of a prick, but information in this world, it's fucking invaluable. I'm sure you understand that. There's not a lot to do.
It's a
There's
new
not a
form of
lot out
currency.
there. Exactly. It's as my friend here says, it really is a form of currency, and I mean, just for the obvious, I mean, I'm just using this as a demonstration, but we kind of have you as a head over a handbasket, as you can see. So, I'd really like to know all you have to offer, if that's okay with you, obviously. Oh, and
However, my mission is confidential from the British government.
yeah, that's the thing. We don't really care about that. So if you don't mind, oh, of course, don't move. And if you do me the honors of maybe getting on your knees and whatnot, so we can properly just make sure you don't do anything silly whilst we're questioning. You answer all the questions correctly and give us what we want, this will be smooth. But heck, we might even be friends by the end of it. But we need to know who's out there. We need to know, considering we're all that's out there. There's no fucking British government no more. There's no American. It's right here, right now. We are all that's fucking left. We have to contend with that. So anything you can give us is very much appreciated. Oh, the knees thing. Could we kind of get on that, please? Because, you know, it's no time like the present. Thank you. Much obliged. I asked you a question, Eddie. Why can't you answer these? Do you think your affiliation with the army is going to make a difference here? Because you know if you kind of use that as an excuse, I'm gonna be taking parts away from you. This is how we handle it. We're not military, you see. We're just people that like to be informed. And on the conduct of revenge and whatnot, how you handle people who torture, that also leaves us with another dilemma. Why would we let you go if we know that after getting what we want? You see the dilemma of your way here.
Wake up.
You might want to work with us.
Why would I want to do that when you've threatened to torture?
It's exactly because of threatening to torture you. And that's the thing. I'm probably gonna do it by the looks of things, but I would be encouraged not to if you kinda play ball here. I can't really work with this one-sided conversation shit.
If you have to kill me, then kill me. My friends and my family, they come.
I'm afraid I can't just kill you without getting what I want, so we need to get encouraging. I'm kind of missing something I could make use of. Does anyone have any pliers? That would make it easier on me.
Ooh, wait a minute.
I
I got an idea. She has one of those little kettle thingies. They do the shot stuff. You could help.
No. Earlier, someone mentioned something about proving myself.
I think army
Doing
men can
exactly
withstand that. We might have to do something more drastic on this army fella.
Then fine, let me explain something. Eddie, please work with us. I don't want to be the bad guy here. If you don't, I'm, how would I put this? I want you to talk, so I don't want to focus too much around the mouth area.
Hey, wake up.
Are you familiar with flaying by chance?
First, you think you're the first person to torture me?
Oh, no, don't mistake me. I'm probably not the first, but if you make this difficult for me through the whole duration, I'm probably, I will be the last person to torture you. Do you read what I'm saying here? Doesn't mean you won't be tortured. It just means you won't probably make it out the end of it. I want to know who these people are. If you do not give them to me, I'm going to make your very last moments a literal living hell, and then I'll kill you. It doesn't seem to be familiar with any other groups out there, according to him. The group he was with, he says he got separated from initially in the early months. He's been alone since then.
I don't care.
Still has a false sense of loyalty to them, mind you.
I care about your blood.
But he's adamant that they're out there somewhere, and he's gonna find them or something or other. Sounds like another lost military unit with a stray soldier. I've seen it before, but at the same time, it's the one thing I do find unusual is it was strangely protective initially, but opened up along the way. Might be a fabricated story, might not be, unsure. Kinda wondering if it's worth proceeding to yet or not.
Well, I'm no psychology major, nor am I a psychiatrist, but to bring up your point, he did say something along the lines of, you think you're the first man to torture me, and then it appears no torture ever took place, and he told the story anyway, so either he, yes, he's lying, or
open your mouth.
No need for torture.
Maybe
Based
he's
on
as
what I
tough
want
as
to
he-
know.
I suppose.
There you go, a little bit.
I know those sick bastards are expecting a show, really, but what was that running by there?
Thank you.
Alex.
Hey, you want some more?
I should be okay for now.
What do you want to
Some
do
more.
with
Come
him?
on, one more.
I'm fine.
He's not going to be able
Enjoy.
to give us much, because quite frankly, I don't think he knows it. He's talking about events in the Atlantic-Gorsk and
There
that
you
as if
go,
it was
Frank.
yesterday. Which means, to me, he hasn't really had a lot of socialization.
Now, just
I'm
be
sensing
good
a bit of
boy.
a hermit
We
in
can
him.
all get on our own way.
Trapped in the past, if you will.
brother. Well, leaves us in a precarious situation. I mean, what sort of guarantees do we have that he's not going to seek revenge for the inconvenience that we've shown him today, keeping him away from finding his men and whatnot?
I have to wonder. See, here's where I'm getting real curious here. I look for little things, you see. Little itty-bitty things like contradictions and statements. There's one that stood out for me. If you don't mind me sharing it with you. Earlier, you said I wouldn't be the first person to torture you. And to be fair, I've not really tortured you at all. I've just asked you a bunch of questions. You made it blatantly evident to me that there was no way in hell you were going to tell me anything I was asking for regarding your men due to loyalties and whatnot, yada 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 yada. But without so much as a blade tip pressing against your skin, peeling away the little layers. I got their names, I got what they were doing, I got quite a lot. That's a contradiction to your earlier statement. Why would you tell me that when you're so adamantly against it? Claiming you could handle
He
torture.
got his own bag in his sack.
For free, because they're already been through it once at the behest of the Saudi government and other agencies that were operating over there. I don't really want to live through getting my eyeballs cut or other unpleasant treatment.
Oh, so would you say your statements of loyalty and how you wouldn't say anything were just a blatant lie then? Because this is kind of what I'm seeing here.
No, good. Maybe just a little bit of
Reason
food.
it's not a lie, it's a means to survive.
Good answer, actually. That makes a bit of sense. You see, you get a lot of people, they say they would die for those they care for or whatnot, but they wouldn't fear it. But how would they know if they've never tried it? It's not quite that easy when you're put in the situation. You know? Really boggles the mind.
Would you not rather have an hour?
You make a fair point. Would you rather have an ally, Eddie?
I sure would. Said, my eyes and ears are on the ground. You guys seem organised, motivated. What's to say you can find my friends before I do? You know. See. Said, why not put our resources together and work together?
See, here's the thing. When it comes to allies, though, soldiers, much like yourself, they're pretty morally obligated.
Oh,
They have a
so
certain
they
sense
might
of how
go
things are meant to be done. What's yours like, Eddie? How would you define yourself?
Together. I did the jobs that the British government didn't want to give to most people because they didn't have the stomach
That thing on your
So why
back,
did you
the
do
red
them
one,
then?
the big long
What
stick.
was in it for you?
for it, because it's about the great.
The greater good. I've heard that statement a lot there. You believe everyone out there should
Can I
be
see it? Like, can I hold
looked
it in my hand?
after, protected even,
Oh yeah, but please
that they
be
deserve it.
careful of it because it's from the farm, you know. It's it's
Good.
crop.
Some people are inherently evil,
I'll make sure
just
to
as the world was before.
everything.
It's no different now. People are still killing people. Times haven't really changed. It's just the difference now is the dead walk around compared to before the dead stayed.
Good and evil is a pretty, how would I put it?
Oh, yeah.
I'd say it's
This is
defined
happy.
differently depending
Great,
on who
right?
you're asking. We all have our own little interpretations of it.
It's just saying, I would define you as an opportunist.
Just feel the closeness.
An opportunist. You wouldn't see
Well,
me as evil, and
I guess
you'd
it's
think
not
I was
the
trying to
case of
get by
human.
on my own
Well, I'm
accord.
sorry.
Because after all, we've been driven back to the very brinks of nature here.
Well,
There's no laws,
can't say
there's no police, there's no social security.
Said it was for
I'm
cows.
We aren't
sorry.
getting food stamps
Well, yeah,
out
but I
here.
never
We're
challenged you, man. So,
we're
but
pretty
you-
much
it's
on our
your
own.
fault,
Heck,
sis.
the military
Because
itself
you
just
came
gave
out
up
here
and
to
fucking
do-
left us, didn't it? You as well, Eddie. You've been abandoned too.
Well, see?
I know it sucks when you commit so much to a government that doesn't give a fuck about you, but I've met a lot of men in your position. A pity you, really. It's unfortunate. No one likes betrayal. Horrible, horrible thing.
No, you can't take it.
Tut tut tut.
Well, as I was saying to your friend here when he was chatting to me earlier, would it not make more sense to have an ally rather than think of me as an enemy? I can share resources, and as I said, snuck up on you guys pretty easily in the town when you all make use of
To
somebody
be
else.
allies, we'll first need to start being honest with each other, friend. And your name sure as hell ain't Eddie, cause that fella's name yesterday was Eddie as well.
The problem I have is the
Awesome,
morality
and
differences. You following me here? You've got a very integrate way of right and wrong that is immensely different from our own. Wouldn't you consider us, Now here's the thing, I've got no problem killing someone, I really don't. I mean, I prefer not to, because friends is a nice thing, but it doesn't mean I won't do it, for whatever reason, specifically. Wouldn't that make me evil to you? Now, aren't you a do-gooder? This is what I'm getting here. You kind of see yourself as a bit of a Mr. Right over Mr. Wrong, huh? That's the problem.
Like that, not necessarily. We all have a means of survival, and morality is fluid, just like everything.
It wasn't so fluid for you before until I started giving you a few examples. You've changed your answer. You see what I'm saying?
I would say you're reading into things that aren't there, but
That's what
just
I'm
my
supposed to do. You've got to look for the contradictions. You've got to really... What I'm looking for is how your mind spins, how it works. I could focus on the little things and just take any answer as just that, an answer. But when you ask twice with two different ways of saying it, and you get an opposing statement, it makes you wonder what's in between the two statements. You following me? This is how my mind works, you see. So it makes me wonder if you've created a personality for me, or if it is your own. The thing with a lot of soldiers is they really tend to have a lot of the same personality when they're in this situation. When they're amongst their own, they laugh, they joke, they cry, they fuck with each other. That's what they do. But when you get them alone, something what you would consider to be your profession, quite frankly, you're all the same. Every one of you is like talking to a fucking robot. I want to see the man behind the robot.
The one behind the indoctrinated fucking answers you got, mate.
Yeah, precisely. I wonder, can you give individual answers? I mean, can you separate the soldier from the man?
Understood, or if the man is a soldier.
I'm sorry, what was that? Didn't quite hear that entirely.
Saying, what if the man is the soldier and the soldier is the man, and the one are the same?
Such a thing does not exist. It's called brainwashing.
Holy shit, bro.
Oh god, what's happening now?
I need to get in the water.
Someone's had a hiccup.
Oh shit, you good?
Don't
Yeah.
tell me that car's in the fucking sea. I can't deal with this shit.
Hey, back in there.
What the fuck, mate?
Back
I have some mechanicking skills I could help if you need.
Kind of
Yeah,
difficult
an
if
active
it's
good-
under the sea.
You're being naughty. I'm gonna put the rope back on.
Alright, alright.
It does make it a little trickier,
Back
definitely.
to the corner now.
Alright, Jesus.
The man is the soldier and the soldier is the man. You do realize that was never the case originally. You had to start somewhere else where you weren't a soldier.
Rope around, I can
Who
learn.
were you before? You do realize you've been indoctrinated. You do realize you have been brainwashed. You do realize these opinions and these answers aren't your own, because I can think of so many people that wear the uniform that give all the same shit. That's
I guess it's back in
not
the
really
location.
individuality, is it?
Under fucking water.
Why live that sort of
Nothing's on
life?
forever, mate.
Kinda takes away who you are,
Okay, we'll
doesn't it?
find you one.
makes you like a sheep for the shepherd that is your government.
I know where one is. We're gonna go take Haywoods up on the... Up. We're gonna go take Haywoods up there.
It depends on your outlook, but I live by a simple philosophy, which is Nemo via esci mundum non redat melorium. It's Latin.
I don't speak Latin, for the obvious.
Bad.
It roughly translates to what man is a man who does not make the world better.
And how would you view a way to make the world better, exactly?
Because in the old world you needed people like me. So people like you could sleep in bed comfortably.
Not people like
not
me.
worry about the enemy at the gate.
That's where you're different, actually. I've got a different set of beliefs. See, me, I believe in strife. You know what strife is? Yeah. Difficulties. I'm a man that likes to swim against the current, quite frankly, because it makes you stronger. Did you know, an interesting little fact actually, that human progress has never progressed so much, except in times of war. In times of peace we become pretty stagnant. There's not a lot of progress, but in a time of war, we're forced to move. Stagnation, you see, is unproductive. If you have people comfortable in their homes, living their day-to-day lives, being sheep, we don't really evolve as a species. Not at all. We grow weaker, we grow fat, we become complacent to our pizza comforts and our sofa. The television tells us what to do, and we express our opinions anonymously through the internet. There's not really an individual amongst us anymore. We become something else, something computerized, predictable. I'm a man that believes very much in strife.
Your point of view is very impressive.
It's because it's true. It's not so much a point of view. These are logical facts. In World War II, we progressed so much. Televisions, computers, weaponization. Between those two world wars, our society became what it was today. Okay, granted, this eventually got to the point where we blew ourselves the fuck up, but hey, we were still able to do that. The atomic bomb, the nuclear warheads, could fucking eradicate entire countries, but not even that. The medical practices. Do you know we can actually replace someone's arm with a new one? We can do that, just as long as the DNA matches in certain cases, like blood type, nerve attachments and the like. We couldn't do this before. But someone had to suffer.
I was always interested in some medicine.
Well, it's not just medicine. Here's the thing. Someone had to suffer for them to be able to do that. Someone had to lose an arm. And again, it comes back to the original point of strife. Strife progresses us. We try to fix things whilst we're in up the state of strife. We aim for that complacency, but when we are actually complacent, we don't progress at all. It's ironic. It's a strange circle. So in truth, we need conflict. Peace, my friend. Peace is a lie.
What you're speaking over is social Darwinism, as Friedrich Nietzsche called it, as the individual has always had to struggle against the tribe.
Yeah. How you doing, little friend? Need a drink?
Yeah, more or
You're
less.
looking scared.
Not at the moment.
You look scared.
I don't think so. He's very clever at masking emotion.
Let's see what happens.
Not really much of a tone to his voice. It's been pretty much one way, which is familiar with military people, really. They're trained to be that way. It's like they forget who they originally were, and they become something else, something that someone else wants them to be. And it's a shame. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for them, because they themselves have been stolen. They're living as someone else.
Yeah.
Do you even
so
know who you are,
Yeah, it's where...
Eddie?
Sure I do.
Jesus Christ, mate. I almost thought you killed yourself there.
Who are
Oh,
you?
how are? No, who are you? What's your full name?
I don't know.
Are you
what
a
the hell
father?
she
Are
was.
you a
The brake
son?
was fucking stuck. And
What
it,
was before
as soon as
this?
I hit the gas,
What you doing
off it went.
here? You was someone.
I was married once. It didn't work out.
There's the one up at
Army
the
life
camp.
took over.
There's that one that you had, Camp. We have the battery.
Well,
right
of
here.
course.
There's some-
You gave the lady someone else entirely. You didn't give her to you. You gave her one of a fucking million other soldiers, just in a different body.
Sure thing.
That's boring, quite frankly. You gotta look at it from her point of view.
Still wet.
She wanted a man, and instead she got an object. And that's, frankly, how I would view a military person. And I'm not saying that to get against you. I'm trying to get a point of view out of you. Something individual. Look deep inside.
What you try to do is a psychological prompt by trying to antagonize me to see if there's any emotion, but I'm very good at what I do. I enjoy what I do, and that is who I am.
That's another
Did you
thing.
just gave up?
Let me put it like this. This is another thing I've heard before. A lot of the military people, they're told to be proud of what they are. They get the whole hoorahs and yes sirs. They say it with such emphasis. There's not a man alive that could convince them otherwise when that's what their lives become. It's just a shame that beforehand they make sure to destroy the person they previously were. The rebuilding progress, destroy you and build you up new and better. Only it's not better. Inside the head, that goes away. You become stronger, yes, you become faster, more attuned, but you lose a piece of yourself. You lose the thing that makes you human.
Is
Yeah,
this knowing
what's our
that
logic
you
then? Would it
said
mean I
now,
would
Ed?
have no more?
Not a case of morals. It's a case of feeling. You have your morals, yes, but because that's what you've been told is right and wrong. The right way is to feel it. And feelings can be interesting. And I use the term violence to describe feelings. Whilst a lot of us will turn around and say that violence is wrong, we shouldn't seek it, we shouldn't enjoy it, because it's evil, it's the work of the devil, that's what the good book opposes. But secretly, we all kind of like it, don't we? Think about it, really. You get into a fight, the
Yeah.
adrenaline courses through your body, it's like a natural drug, and you feel fucking great for that moment. It's fantastic. But you'll oppose it, and you'll say, no, it's bad, it's wrong, it's whatnot. Society will keep telling you that, but yet in our history we've had coliseums, arenas, we've had organized competitions where people die jousting. It's because we really like it. Even in today's day and age, we had boxing, we had wrestling, we had violence on television in the movies because we all liked it. But violence is wrong. But yet, when you look deep down into your gut with your feelings, you know you like it. So doesn't that make it right?
I suppose you're alright. One of the last jobs I did when I was working in Saudi Arabia, I did feel something after shooting someone at a long range distance. Recoil.
You felt powerful, didn't you? You had the life and death in your hands. And taking that away from someone else gave you a sense of strength, didn't it? You might not have admitted it at the time, but if you feel deep within,
Was that?
you were better than that person, weren't
You
you?
need some food? I heard you've been
Sure I
a
am.
bad boy.
And past the selection, not many pass. Not many people get into the special air service.
See, so you would view yourself as something more. So you're showing some humane humanity's traits here. Pride, for instance. Pride isn't always a good thing, mind you, but it's a way to identify us. It's a deadly sin. They're interesting because we all have them. And depending on the amount when they're spread out, it pretty much defines our character. You're proud of yourself, aren't you, Eddie? You like you.
Sure I am. Not many people could survive by themselves out there. So yeah, I'd say
There we go. We got a little bit about him now. He clearly has a sense of ego. That's healthy. I have an ego. I'm probably not as strong as you, Eddie. Probably not as fast, but
A little bit more.
I think a lot. I like to think. I'm proud of that. It's little things like that you need to grasp.
Talking about ego, you're a fan of Sigmund Freud, maybe Jung or Adler, so she's talking about psychodynamics with the ID, the E.
See, that's the funny thing, though. I'm not going to quote names because a lot of these I kind of came to the conclusion on my own. That's something about me. I like to just sit down and think. And when I think, I usually come up with my own individual answers. Now, yes, other people have said them in the past, but that just shows that they also have the capacity to think. I don't like the idea of having something put in front of me and told to read it. I don't like the idea of being told what's right and wrong. I like to come to that conclusion on my own accord. I like to put 2 and 2 together and come up with my own answer. Sometimes it's not 4, sometimes it's 5. I know it's weird, but I like that number. It's a better way of living.
Where's the hole in my thing?
9 times out of 10, though, yeah, I usually go with the more logical approach. But it's my approach. That's the point.
Do it myself.
You've seen too many countries, if you will, too many places that's just fucking disappeared off the face of the map. Because men like yourself, Eddie, have been told to go and take it away, on the orders of some other individual. I have to wonder if all those soldiers, all those people had to just systematically at the same time just stand up and say, you know what, I feel like I'm going to do something different. Well, that would all fall apart, wouldn't it? There's people out there who use men like you with subjects of morality, rights and wrongs, and they get them to do what they want with the illusion that that is exactly what they're doing, what they want. Just history, really. Every nation's been built on the foundation of these slaves. I like these little chats. It's mental stimulation. You may think you know who you are dealing with. After all, it sounds easy. I've shared so much, but in actuality, this is very different. All the study in the world cannot make you immune from the effect of a psychopath. Every single person, including those who call themselves experts, can be taken in, tricked, deceived, and left stunned by them. I spent a lot of time with Eddie that day, and as time changes, so does the situation. Oh, that's Eddie out there, by the way, on the field, about to take part in a spiked baseball bat fight with some random guy who we picked up along the way. But he's irrelevant and doesn't really have much of a choice in this situation. What is relevant is that Eddie was asked if he'd like to be the contender himself. This was his own choosing, which is interesting, really, considering who he was when we picked him up down in Electro. The mind is an interesting thing, but everything after this is another story, for another time. Toodles.
Pretty even.
On the count of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
I put ammunition on the red one.
1, go.
Go, doggy.
FG! FG!
You got the
Woo!